Harry. This is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto was what? Why did I say was? What if Naruto did not have the Ninetails and joined the Akatsuki Part 2? Now let me do a recap on what happened last time. Now, Naruto. He was betrayed by, well, he did not have the Ninetails, but everyone still hated him. He still graduated. Everything goes the same until they do missions. Now, when Team 7 does missions, they had another T-Rank mission that was to help a village. A small village, not a very big village. But, even though they helped this village, Naruto saved this girl. It was the same age as like Team 7 and all that. And of course, Sasuke got broken his heart. Sasuke stabbed Naruto in the heart. Well, close to the heart. Naruto fell off a bridge. Of course, Team 7 hates Naruto. Everyone hates Naruto except for Arusa, since he knows the truth, but also fucked him over. So yeah. So of course, Kakashi now found out the truth, even though legit Hiruzen tells him, "Oh yeah, you protect Naruto." No, what fucking Kakashi does is the opposite. But sure. With that happening, Naruto went into this like broken sort of ruined village sort of, and of course touches Green Skull with his blood over the Green Skull, unlocking the screen that says, "Will you like to become a player?" He clicks yes. Of course, he passes out. The next day happens. He finds to get a skill called Hazardous Blood. He goes to the dungeons. Of course, he's now level 50. After 2 years, he's 14. Of course. He goes to Konoha just to get, well, to scout out the place and all that. Well, of course, he meets Obito. Obito, well, tells him about that he's from the Akatsuki. Do you want to join or something? Naruto said yes, and of course, he joins. He meets Nagato, Konan, and of course, Madara slash Obito. Of course, Pain says, "What is your skills?" Naruto summons the undead, and the undead, that kind of looks like a skeleton, has a red and blue aura around him. That's because Naruto has 2 skills, well, 2 classes. One demonic class, and the other one being Necromancer. Now, of course, that class, the skeletons, the Necromancer class kind of gets more powerful with the whole demonic class. Well, yes. So, of course, with that, Naruto summons one of the skeletons. He summoned about 15. Of course, he can summon more, about 100. But he didn't want to show off that much power. With that happening, Nagato decides to, Pain decides to promote Naruto to be in a team with Obito. Now, of course, instead of being like, it'll be, well, 10 different Akatsuki members to actually go and fight. So Obito will actually be one of the fighters and all that, sort of. He's just gonna be like an original canon being Toby. But of course, let's call Black Zetsu and White Zetsu would just be the scouters. So yeah. But Naruto is gonna be one of the people to go capture Tail Beast. Now with Obito. Now, of course, they did say to go train for another 2 years, since yeah, that's when they're gonna go capture different tail beasts and all that, just get stronger or whatever, do your missions, blah blah blah, who cares. Now, Naruto wasn't seen for 2 years. Actually, he was seen for 2 years, sort of by Obito, but not much. Naruto has became way stronger. I did not mention what level he was last time. I just said he was level 50, okay? So now he's level 120. Why that much? Well, because of 2 years. Of course, he's just gonna be training or doing some missions, just getting some food, blah blah blah. Yeah, he's just that tall. That high. How tall he is? He is about 6'3". He's pretty damn tall. And also, he is, well, very powerful. His shadow, well, not shadow, but I'm thinking of Soul 11. No, his skeleton demonic army is about, I should say, 777 soldiers. 777. Good lucky number. I just thought of it, okay? I can't really control what words I usually put out there. But yeah, now, when he got that many soldiers, of course it's not near to 1,000, but of course it's enough to easily take on some people. He has about a couple elites. He has about 20 elites in the whole 77 army. He has 20 elites. About 10 commanders, and then he has about 10, well, very strong forces and all that. 2 commanders only. No, actually 3 commanders. And of course he has a dragon. He has 2 dragons that of course are high ranking levels. Of course they're not high ranking like the commanders are, but yeah. And also 1 right hand man. This legendary sort of warrior. He is sort of a demonic skeleton, and also what's it called? Angel, Arctic Angel. Not Arctic Angel, just, yeah, Arctic Angel. So, he's a very powerful type of, well, creature that, of course, Naruto managed to grab. Which Naruto actually unlocked another skill, the Arctic Angel power. Well, not, yeah, the Angelus power. That's what I'm gonna call it, the Angelus power. So, of course, Naruto, his, skeleton army is called the Angelus Demonic skeleton creatures. Now, Naruto, of course, his army is pretty strong. Now, Naruto, he has talked to the other Akatsuki, like Hidan. Hidan was talking about, like, he's immortal and all that, and no way Ken can die. Of course, Hidan has practiced with one of, Naruto's, like, sparring buddy, not sparring buddies. He did practice with one of the, skeletons. Of course, Hidan, every time he destroys it, he comes back to life. So basically, Hidan thinks of it like an immortal buddy to fight. Since, even though the skeleton dies, he comes back. Because it's just feed off of Naruto's sort of chakra mana. It's basically, Naruto's chakra is a little bit more different from, normal. It's combined with chakra and mana. So, of course, with that happening, Naruto, he is now, with the Akatsuki. Of course, Pain, Nagato, such. But yeah, you get the point. Pain has just told everyone what Bijus they are going to go capture. But before even going to go capture them, Naruto decided to talk to Pain about Itachi's Itachi's acting weird. Now, Pain raises an eyebrow, if he could, which he can't that much. But yeah, Nagato kind of raises an eyebrow. Of course, Obito and Konan does also. Naruto says that Itachi has been looking weird at me for some reason the whole time. Even though he just do some side classes, it's weird enough for him to just be looking at me such weirdly. And Obito says, must be just because you're a new person. Yeah, but Hidan and Katsu looked at me like, yeah, they're immortal, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, they don't look at me strangely. They don't really glance at me that much. Deidara and Sasori just annoy me with their arts, and Kizami just looks at me like he kind of wants to fight half the time. Itachi, on the other hand, keeps everything to himself. When I tried to go near Itachi walked away. Of course, I just think that's way normal for him. But of course, when I catch Itachi kind of looking at me, he walks away, which is strange. And then, after a while, I kind of noticed one thing. I saw him throw a crow into, like, the air. And the crow did have a message. So Naruto pulls out the message because he managed to, like, take down the crow and actually take the message out. Well, from the leg and all that. It was a small scroll summoning that Naruto grabbed. The scroll was about how Naruto's alive and tried to tell Konoha about this. Now, of course, Obito, Pain, and Konan looks at each other and just says, well, if Itachi's just sus, we gotta get him out of here. We can't let him expose our plans to the world. Not yet. So of course, all the Akatsuki are all joined up now, and of course, there's some members that already know about Itachi's little secret, cause Naruto did tell Hiran and Kakuzu just in case that Itachi tries to run away, tries to block his exit and all that. Sasori and Data knows about it, sort of, from Toby. Toby's like, this man is a traitor. So, of course, everyone is prepared, just in case, well, Itachi tries to run away. Now, Pain goes, Itachi Uchiha. Do you know what the scroll is? Now, of course, Itachi kinda doesn't flinch. He sort of flinches, but not much. No one saw it. But, of course, Naruto saw it, and Pain also did. Now, Itachi tried to play it off, saying, yeah, I don't know what that is. No. And, of course, Pain opens it and says, from Itachi, Lord Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki is alive. It seems he is way stronger, but also has black hair. He does still have the whisker marks, showing that he is Naruto Uzumaki. Although no, he's one of the Akatsuki members for the Akatsuki trying to get the Bichu. And this is just a warning from for Konoha to save the try not to give the Ninetails towards what's called the Akatsuki. Now I should mention one thing: the Ninetails, it has already been sealed into a person. Now the Ninetails has actually been sealed into an Anbu. Now, this Anbu, or not Anbu, this sort of Anbu leader, it is Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke came back to the village after a while, after started getting training from Orochimaru and killing him. Yeah, he came back to the village and was an Anbu leader, and actually got the Ninetails. And everyone in the village sees him as a hero. With Naruto, with him not being a Ninetails, sees him as a, well, demon. Yeah. So, of course, Itachi flinches in that and tries to run away. He tries to, like, dodge away. Well, of course, before he can actually get away, a bunch of, like, well, centipedes made out of clay went Kai, and of course Itachi tries to dodge and then almost got caught with Sasori's using his puppets. Well, I mean, his puppet tail. Almost got slashed at him. He managed to dodge also. Kisame is like wondering what the hell is happening, but this is where Naruto comes behind him and says, Kisame, you realize Itachi is a traitor towards, well, the Akatsuki. He tried to warn the Leaf Village about how we are trying to capture all 12 peaks. The reason why he's trying to do that is because his little brother, Sasuke Uchiha, is now the new Ninetales. He is trying to warn them. And Itachi says, how do you know? Damn it! Naruto says, summoning, skeleton summoning, right-hand man commander. Of course, this is a right-hand man commander, a very high-ranking elite. So, not legendary class right-hand man commander. Of course, it's a warrior, a very powerful warrior that has 2 different wings. It looks like an angel wing that kind of glows in bright yellow light, and the other one that has a demonic wing that kind of shows a very darkish reddish aura. Now, of course, its eyes kind of show a very lightish blue color because it's a skeleton. Of course, it has armor, but split into half. One being like red and black, the other one being white and gold. Now, the soldier has 2 weapons. These 2 weapons are 2 swords. One is, well, the same color as the other side, and the other side being, yeah. And he rushes at Itachi. Itachi has no time to dodge. He almost gets sliced. Of course, Itachi tried to use Genjutsu on him. Realized that the soldier cannot be on a Genjutsu. None of Naruto's soldiers can be put on into a Genjutsu. They are all undead. They can't be put on into any Genjutsu. This is not the what's called Edo Tensei, so of course they can't be put onto Genjutsu. This is basically the undead. Now, Itachi managed to actually lose an arm when he tried to put a Genjutsu over the skeleton. Found out that the skeleton doesn't have eyes. Good job, Itachi, you fucked up. So he lost one arm. And then, of course, Kakuzu managed to grab him from the ground and then just, his neck, and just put him down to the ground. Just smashing him down. Of course, he then gets smashed into a wall, but then this is where Naruto grabs what's called Hidan arm and just throws Hidan towards the towards Itachi. Itachi legit tries to dodge, but when he tries to dodge, he still gets slashed. His arm just hurts now. He's like, he lost both. One his arm is just fully cut off, and the other one is kind of bleeding from Hidan's Now Hidan decides to make a blood circle with a triangle and lick the blood. Now Itachi's like, I gotta escape. But of course, this is where Hidan stabs his own leg, so Itachi will not get up and try to run away. Kisame was like, Itachi, why? You were also a traitor, ninja. Why would you try to help the own village that betrayed you? Itachi says, Cause I am still, even though I'm not a hero, I will protect my younger brother. But before even trying to do anything else, he gets shot by a rod towards his other leg. He tried to get up still. He managed to get up when his leg is still wounded and all that. It's his left leg that was wounded. His right leg got shot with a, one of the metal rods. So, Itachi kind of falls down and only his knees. So, of course, Itachi says, no, I can't do this. I want to see my brother become the Hokage at least. And Naruto says, your brother took everything away from me, and I would take everything away from him. So, of course, this is where Itachi says, I won't let you, Amaterasu. Naruto, he was about to get hit by Amaterasu until he used an ability called White Flames. So, this ability kind of stops the black flames from actually touching him. It kind of just hits the white flames, canceling both out. Let me say that again. Canceling both flames out. How? Itachi says, white flames? Naruto says, it's a skill I managed to pick up. But yes, white flames, the flames that can actually counter Amaterasu. Your flames is useless. So Itachi says, nah, Susanoo! Of course he goes into a Susanoo. Of course he can't move or anything. He just has a Susanoo. He tries to seal what's called Naruto away. Now, of course, he did not manage to seal Naruto away because Naruto managed to dodge. Naruto summoned a dragon. 2 of his skeleton army dragon. Now, there are 2 different element dragons. One being a very powerful water user dragon, and the other being a very powerful lightning dragon. Now, of course, they both shoot an attack at, let me say that. They both shoot an attack towards Itachi, and Itachi tries to block with the shield. Of course, water kind of just splashes, and but the lightning wasn't trying to hit what's called the shield. It hit the water instead, and Itachi was being fried from underneath. Since the Susanoo isn't really cumbering that much, and water's way thinner than normal, it's a special skill that kind of the water dragon kind of use. It's water that's way thinner and much easier for it to go into ground and all that. And lightning just hits the ground. Of course, it kind of fries Itachi from underneath. Since the Susanoo does not protect from underneath, it only protects around him and on top. Cannot protect from underneath. So of course Itachi's being fried up, and Itachi's Susanoo lets go. Like his Susanoo was in sort of the perfect Susanoo, sort of. It had the sword and all that. It went into a skeleton form Susanoo, and back into sort of one arm and the ribs of the Susanoo. Itachi has lost so much blood, cannot move, and he says, no, I can't let you do this. But before even trying, Naruto's commander, the right-hand commander, just rushes at Itachi. Itachi tries to swing for the Susanoo arm, at the commander, at the left, right hand commander. Just the right hand commander uses one of his blades to chop off the Susanoo arm, and then just slice through the Susanoo's chakra, the Susanoo ribs, and also Itachi's head. Clean off. Itachi says, "You realize the Susanoo cannot break by any normal." His arm, the Susanoo arm, just finally just broke. What sort of broke? Not really broke. Just sliced off and just fell down. It wasn't fully sliced off. It looked like it did not get sliced off. But of course, just 10 seconds later, it gets sliced off. And Itachi widened his eyes. And he wanted something else. His head is now flying. He kind of blinked and just widened his eyes that now his head is just flying into the air and just falls down. Itachi's lifeless eyes just gone. He is now dead. That's what I tried to mention. So yeah, Itachi is gone, but Naruto goes up to Itachi's body and uses, his necromancer powers to bring back Itachi, but into one of his army. So yeah, Naruto has, sort of a, an elite summoner. Naruto did not want to put that much magical power into Itachi, because he hated the fact that Itachi was such a bitch, because Naruto hates all the Uchihas, even Itachi and Sasuke, since Sasuke was the one to betray him. So yeah. Now we go on to capturing the different Bijus. Now, after 3 days have passed, everyone was now fine and all that, and they all went to go capture different Bijus. First, it was Sasori and Deidara going to go capture the One-Tails. The One-Tails was actually successfully captured. The same thing in original canon. Since, in original canon, Gaara managed to still crush a lot of people, but Jiraiya was still to seal him and all that, to seal the Biju, and of course, they had to make an alliance for, of course, Gaara to be still the Kazekage. They have to leave the Biju, or if any time, if ever the Leaf Village is attacked, but if the Sand Village is attacked, Konoha cannot send any reinforcements, which Konoha fucks up in that point. Yeah. So even though Konoha has to get help by the Sand Village gets attacked, they don't help him at all, unless the Biju is taken. Well, not really, because they didn't really thought that far. So yeah, Jiraiya, he did sort of help Sasuke and all that, even though he wanted to punch Sasuke in the face because he's the one to kill Minato's son. So yeah, but he couldn't. So Jiraiya, he talked to the Toads about the Child of Prophecy, and the old Toad kind of just frowns the fact that Jiraiya does not have the Prophecy Child. And of course, after Itachi's death, the giant Toad got a glimpse of the future. Found out the Child of Prophecy has now become the Child of Destruction, and no one can actually take him out. So what he looks is into the future, right? He sees Naruto, his black hair, whisker marks, his eyes being a bluish color eyes, just like radiant, reacting off of him and all that, just like going off as his blue eyes and all that. A reddish and lightish color just going around his head, 2 auras just going around him. This will be sort of a form towards what's gonna happen in the end. Just basically a glimpse of what I'm gonna do for Naruto. So yeah. So Naruto, he is now... not Naruto. The Toad says... This child of destruction has just now went to go on this town. So, of course, even though what's called Gaara's like Biju has now been taken out, Team 7 was never sent out to go get what's it called, the Jinchuriki. Since they kind of did that whole rule and all that, and they fucked up. So yeah. So when Gaara was fully like dead and all that, Naruto came out of nowhere and actually turned Gaara into a soldier of his. And Gaara is actually how should I say, a sort of a commander. Well, sort of his commander of the undead. And Naruto has actually brought, his skeleton army and all that towards the Sand Village to actually kill more people so he can get more army. So Gaara's actually an elite. An elite, sort of like that. Since, of course, the Shikaku really couldn't help him because he did kind of get a seal on him and all that. So Gaara's like whole Shikaku is extracted, but of course he's an elite. And all Naruto did is just go to, the Sand Village and destroy everyone else that was there. Now, it was during the night. Of course, this is where Tamari became the new Kazekage, and Kankuro, he died. He died because sorcery still poisoned him. And since Konoha did not send any, medical ninjas towards, the Sand Village help, just basically Kankuro die. Sasori and Deidara are now going after the Two Tails, but I'll talk about that later. Not Two Tails, Three Tails. But I'll talk about that later. Now, since that is happening at the middle of the night when, of course, they lost their Biju, Tamari is just saddened that she just lost two of her brothers. Not older brother, her like two younger brothers, Gaara and Kankuro. If I can remember right, Kankuro was basically a middle child, and Tamari was the oldest. Since that is a thing, and during the night when everyone was sort of trying to rebuild or trying to like stand guard just in case anyone attacks, a bunch of skeleton soldiers wearing different types of cloaks and all that, which people did not know about them being skeleton. But of course, they were getting assassinated by skeleton warriors being actually assassin classes. Or skeleton warriors being a tank with a magical, not wizard. So yeah, wizards, magician, fuck, I can't really say. Tanks, whatever, you name it. Archers, yeah, you get the point. They were just taking out some of the Sand Village ninjas. A bunch of Sand Village ninjas had actually been dying and all that. Now, Tamari was saddened, but of course, if I can remember right, this is with the Sand Village being attacked and all that. Tamari was kind of just sleeping, sort of, in like the Kazekage, desk and all that. The Hokage desk, but of course she had one guard, and that is, now, Tamari, she is just sleeping, and of course she does have her bodyguard named, what was his name? Like her team leader, Sensei Baki, that's his name. I think it was Baki. Now, he was standing guard, but of course he gets killed by Naruto. Naruto is just going to the Kazekage, who's the new Kazekage. Now, Naruto is standing just there, looking at Tamari, wondering why the fuck is she sleeping if she's the Kazekage. So, Naruto goes, you mind waking up or something? Tamari fully just shots up and says, Who the hell are you? Naruto says, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm here to destroy your village, even though we took your Jinchuriki. But who cares? I'm here to actually get more soldiers I need. And, don't worry, I brought back your brothers back to life. That he brings her sensei and her two brothers, Kankuro and Gaara, since Sasori did mention about how Gaara had a brother and sister named, what's it called? Kankuro and Tamari. Now, Tamari is horrified and shocked the fact that this man has just brought her siblings back to life, but as the undead. Now, she's confused that it's not the Edo Tensei. Yeah, Naruto says, don't worry there, Tamari-chan. Tamari just kind of blushes but gets angry and then why she's blushing. Because Naruto, he looks kind of, what's it called, strong. And she likes strong people. But there's no time for her to just do that stuff. Now, Naruto, he says, unless you want to die, join me to killing Konoha for not helping you. And she's like tempted but not willing because this is the enemy. And Naruto says, don't worry, I'll let your brothers, well, be in my army. I can't really stop them. The Akatsuki I join are just there to kill a bunch of, like, well, beaches and all that. To take them. But if you come with me, well, not really. If you, I really don't care that much, but yeah. Tamari is thinking, but then again, that's the enemy, and Naruto just playing around with her. So of course, Tamari tried to use her wind attacks against Naruto. Naruto sends out Gaara and actually crushing Tamari like that. Using sand style, just crushing her. Now, Gaara's sand is not the normal color of sand. He's undead, so basically his sand color is basically a reddish color. Kankuro's puppets are just this light color. Tamari is now the new, well, members of, well, Naruto's army. The army that Naruto now has is about... So, I must say that there was actually 750 people in the village. Of course, it was kind of small because it was one of the smallest. Well, the forts, yeah, it was a fort, one of the forts. So, of course, it was pretty small. Now, Naruto took everyone over and now it has an army. Now, it is 1,527 soldiers that Naruto now has. Some are elite, some are not. So yeah, Naruto, he just returned back his army all back. And Naruto's now going back to the Akatsuki. Now into the Two Tails. The Two Tails still gets captured by Hiran and Kakuzu. So yeah, that doesn't change that much. But of course, Naruto turns her into a soldier army now. And yeah, the skeleton soldier army. Now Naruto, he is now going to go, well, not go, but what's called Deidara and Sasori are going to the Mist Village, and of course Naruto's coming along because he actually wants to take out the Mist Village. He needs more soldiers of army. He needs more. And since the Mist Village is recovering from the whole blood purge and all that, Naruto thinks maybe there's still some Kenkakai users so I can actually take them away and make them into my army. Now, what's it called? Deidara and Sasori managed to explode the Three Tails out of the water. Of course, then Naruto kind of told one of his, well, not elite commanders, but commanders to just go help, well, Sasori and Deidara. And not commanders, but one of his dragons, the lightning dragon, to go actually fight it. Now Naruto's going to the Mist Village and actually, well, taking it over slowly by his army. He only has 1,000. And of course, his army is killing a bunch of civilians, ninjas. It's the same with Naruto, kind of just killing civilians in it's called the Sand Village, in the Suna Village or whatever it's called. The Sand Village, I think so. Yeah, Sand Village. They managed to get rid of a bunch of the whole civilians, and of course Naruto charged only the ninjas towards his army. Cause what the hell is the civilians gonna do? Nothing, just a waste of space for him. When he gets close to, well, the Miss Kage and all that, the Miss Kage, she busts through and fights against Naruto. Now Naruto easily takes her out so easily without even trying that much. Naruto has his whole hand over, Mei's head, and has just crushed Mei's head into the wall. Now turning her into another soldier that he has. He has 2 Kage soldiers and also 2 Jinchurikis. Well, used to be Jinchurikis. They still have the power to Jinchuriki, but yeah. Naruto, he says, Sasori, are you done? They're finally actually captured 3 tails, and of course, the 3 tails got sealed into the ghetto Masa and all that. But yeah, the ghetto statue. Next is the 4 tails. Kisame does not have a partner, so Naruto is actually gonna be, well, kinda being there for what's called Itachi's absence. Now, of course, when they find the 4 tails using lava style, and Kisame's easily destroying by using water style. And fully taken out the 4 tails, of course the 4 tails is extracted, and of course Naruto turns into another soldier. The 5 tails was easily taken out by Hidan and Akatsuki, and of course they brought him towards, well, to extract him. It's going pretty easier than original canon, because the Leaf Village does not help other villages that much. It only helps himself. But when they realize that the Sand Village and the Mist Village have been taken over, and all of his army and people are dead, they are kind of worried, because those were 2, like, what's called hidden villages that were very powerful. Still very powerful than the other smaller villages. But Naruto, he actually came across, not came across, Hidan and Akatsuki still came across Asuma and the others. And Asuma still gets killed and all that. And of course Shikamaru and the others are just afraid on what the hell happened. Not afraid, but they're angry, sort of, afraid, sad and all that. And Hidan, instead of leaving Asuma's body there, he actually takes Asuma's body. Why? Because both Naruto and sort of Hidan are sort of close friends. Not that well, but yeah. Hidan says, this is a present for my little brother, Naruto. And Akatsuki is smacking their head. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're not even related, you dumb fuck. Oh, whatever. Whatever, I'm still gonna give him for his army. He needs an army to destroy Konoha. And Shikamaru has her, Naruto. And that's the very such a rare name to even hear someone else being named Naruto. And hearing that Naruto, Shikamaru thinks that, well, Naruto must be alive. He knew it. But he doesn't get why he's in the Akatsuki. He doesn't know that much. So Shikamaru was sort of the only one that kinda didn't hate Naruto. But yeah. The whole thing with Hinata sort of didn't like Naruto that much, so yeah. But she's actually going to marry Sasuke. Sasuke's also going to marry Sasuke. You know, most of the heiresses are actually going to marry Sasuke, since he's the last Uchiha. But Naruto has anything to say about it. He's making sure that he does not have any kids, even if he has to kill them. Now, of course, Shikamaru saw that Asuma was just taken away, and of course Naruto now gets another soldier, and that is Asuma. But it finds out that Asuma was sort of a commander chief. So he's actually not commander, but a general. So yeah, Naruto says, interesting. This is good. They get more powerful soldiers. But of course now Naruto's army is kind of moving towards, well, the Stone Village. Since the Stone Village does not have a Jinchuriki, two Jinchurikis, they are gone. Naruto's going there. And of course the next Jinchuriki would be the Six Tails. The Six Tails managed to be captured by Pain and the others. But yeah, Naruto goes into the Stone Village and actually destroys it by using his army. He had, so I said that he had 1,527. Now, the Mist Village still had a lot of people there, but mostly they were ninjas, but some being Kekkaikan users, being still civilians, still have enough power. Naruto's army is now, 1,709 people in, the Mist Village. I'm gonna just say that number, or 250. Since of course we're still kind of repairing all that, but not much. No, it'll be kind of more a little bit. But yeah, with that happening, Naruto now has his army of being like 300 and 300, well not 300, 3,236. Now, of course, when he goes through Iowa, to basically the Stone Village, he destroys them pretty easily. Of course, he's fighting against the Tsuchikage and Akatsuki, and he probably easily just kills both of them and makes them, well, the new, skeleton army. Of course, finds out that the Tsuchikage is actually, one of his special forces now. And Akatsuki is also a special force, but yeah, you get the point. Now he has about... So, okay, I kind of just changed the number. So, instead of being like whatever I was about to say, well, it was like 300 something. I mean, not 300 something. 3,000 something. It is 7,973. That would be a lot of shadows. So, there's after, consuming the Stone Village. Since I remember the Shinobi Alliance was like 80,000. Yeah. That's counting the whole Gannings and Chunings and blah blah blah. Shit. Whatever. I can't really do math that well. So yeah, it's just a huge army that Naruto has. Now, Naruto is now going with the Akatsuki towards, those different small villages. Naruto's actually killing multiple small villages without the Akatsuki noticing him and doing that. But Naruto wants more people, more army, and all that. So yeah, he's having an army. He found Orochimaru's base and has found that Orochimaru's dead and all that. He brought Orochimaru back, and he's actually a commander. Kabuto back, and all the different bases that Naruto found about Orochimaru. Just making his army bigger and bigger and bigger. He also found, Karin Uzumaki. Naruto realized that she's in Uzumaki, but she's too afraid to, go with Naruto. Naruto just grabs Karin Uzumaki by the hand and says, "Come on. You're in Uzumaki, get up. Stop being a weak bitch or something." Of course, she's coming along. She's scared by Naruto, but Naruto doesn't care. Of course, he finds Zetsu, not Zetsu. What am I talking about? What is that one guy with white hair? I forgot his name. The one guy that can go into water. Yeah, Naruto, he can't kill him or whatever, so he just leaves him. He finds Jugo and actually kills him. Manages to kill him and actually turn him into a Shadow Soldier. That was, not Shadow Soldier. Skeleton Soldier, being one of his special knights now. Naruto's going around killing. And of course, Karin will actually be now one of the Akatsuki members. Naruto found out she's an Uzumaki, so of course lets her in and blah blah blah. So yeah. So this is where I'm actually gonna leave it off. So I will explain next what's next gonna happen. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sleep. Potato. My math is terrible, I know that.